Every moment of every day, we are sharing energy with the people around us. We're getting some of theirs and we're giving some of ours. It's kind of like a little energy exchange, but this is something that most people do unconsciously. And a lot of spiritualists intentionally draw in the exact energy they want and they share it to others. If you specifically want a video on how to get your energy back from someone, take a look at this video here. Now, for every one of you who've clicked on this video, I believe there is an energetic calling for you to learn how to do this. Like I said, we're doing it all the time, but doing it consciously is the change. So if you want to learn how to draw in energy from people around you, and it's the energy that will suit you, then stay till the end of this video where I'll go in depth about how you can actually do this. What's up, guys? My name is Mitch, and I take spirituality, break it down, and make it practical so that you can use and apply it to manifest your dreams. When it comes to energy, we have to kind of understand what energy is. And it's a combination of our thoughts, our physical being, and our emotions. These three things make up our energy, but they also control the world that we get to experience and live in. It comes to us as a reflection. So our energy and our state of self or state of being is going to be reflected to us through the things, people, and places that happen around us. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't extract things out of the experience. That's actually the whole point of life, is to come down and uniquely experience things and extract the energy reflection to learn more about yourself and upgrade. So this whole video I'm going to take you through is going to teach you how to draw in energy from people around you, and it can be the energy that you want it to be. And it uses this concept of everyone being a reflection. For those of you who are already on a spiritual journey, either you've had a spiritual awakening or you've just connected and enjoy spirituality, hit the thumbs up button. I want to see how many of you are on that journey. So I'm going to go through a few points right now that may indicate to you that you need to learn how to start drawing energy in. If these criteria meet you, this is a really powerful thing to learn. The first thing is that you are often uncomfortable or anxious in a group of people, whether you've known them for a long time or a short time. That anxiety is an indication to you that you are uncertain about how much energy to give out and how much you're actually drawing in. So anxiety is a really good indicator. Point number 2 is if you get triggered by things. Maybe you don't react. It's not about whether you go and be confrontational to people, but when people say things around you, you really feel what they're saying. Another great way to know if this video is for you is if you're often around people you don't particularly like. If you're in company that you don't enjoy being in, this is going to help you so much to get out of that type of company and even transform some of the people that are there all the time into having a different relationship with them because of this energy shift. The fourth way you can take a look if learning how to extract energy from people around you is something you want to learn is if on your spiritual journey you've been finding that you want to be alone more. You find yourself feeling more comfortable isolating, then this is a great video for you. So guys, I'm going to dive into some stuff to explain how this all works and then show you how you can start drawing in energy for yourself. Here are the basic guidelines. This is the gist of how it works. When it comes to our experience in life, the main point is that we are here to learn about ourselves. And the reason we do that is because it's meant to be a test. This is a game of life, and the whole point is for us to upgrade. It's to level up. And to do that, we need to learn how the game works. Now, unlike a video game, we don't necessarily have the ability to respawn. But that's only because we are never actually in soulful danger. Our spiritual beings are never under threat. They only have the opportunity to grow. And in shifting the way you view this will also shift in how many of those unlucky situations we put ourselves in, because everything is a reflection. Now, the way that works is that we are at a certain frequency level within us. And in that frequency bandwidth exists scenarios. And it's the best way to put it as there are scenarios. They're pre-packaged. And these scenarios have specific pain points that meet our emotional pain tolerance level. And the reason it needs to be that way is so that we can learn when we're doing things that aren't going to be good for us. For example, when a kid goes and puts its hand on the fireplace and you go, don't do that. You can say don't do that, but if the kid wants to touch the fireplace, he's going to touch the fireplace. And what happens when he finally does touch that fireplace? He learns that that hurts. So that is the way that we learn physically in this world, that everything is a reflection of us. When we realize what emotional, energetic, frequency level we're on, what floor are we shopping at in this mall of frequencies, because on those floors are the pre-packaged scenarios to help us level up. Now, your pain is not the same as my pain, just like it's not the same as the pain for people you love and people you don't know all around you. Our emotional pain tolerance levels actually differ quite a lot. However, the frequency of, for example, worthlessness is going to be the same sort of change that those people need to make. If you're on the frequency of worthlessness, it's going to be a similar lesson. And worthlessness is shown to us through other people never giving us the validation we need, never giving us the recognition that we feel we need. And those are the pre-packaged scenarios at that frequency level. Now, for someone who is quite resilient, they might need someone to go through a full-blown reputational destruction before they go, oh wait, I don't need anyone's validation, I have it within me. But for some people, it might be a lot easier. Maybe it's as much as the friend saying, hey dude, you don't really need me to confirm your stuff. I'm going through a lot right now. And maybe they're a little bit forceful, but it will be the same pain level for these two individuals to learn how to upgrade to the next frequency level. So pain is relative, and that's one of the biggest things I have to share with you in this. Pain is relative, and that's why experiences are not the same for different people at the same frequency level. As we change to the next level, we get a new pain point that comes through to teach us something else about ourselves. Now, the way that all of these things happen is it's a reflection of our true state of self. And what I mean by true state of being, true state of self, is what we authentically feel. That is all actually a choice. And for a lot of you, you might be like, how is someone being rude to me my choice? Because everything is a reflection of us. It matches that truth. If it were to match your words can be false. If it were to match your clothes, these clothes change. They have no relevance. What is authentically true within you is the emotional self. It's a spiritual body of emotions. And you can pick at which frequency level you get to experience. We do it all the time. We shift in and out of our emotional experiences based on belief systems. And these belief systems that we have sometimes hold us down. One of them being that other people have the power to change how we feel. Nobody changes how we feel. They are a reflection to us of how we feel about ourselves. In a more practical way to look at it, it's a chemical reaction within inside your own being, not in them and they somehow passed you that chemical reaction. Emotions are a chemical reaction within you. So you would have allowed someone to make you feel a certain way. We say this, oh, you made me feel this way. You've just allowed them to be the trigger point for that specific chemical reaction. But we can change this when we go into imaginative spaces. You've imagined things before, like the best case scenario. One of the better ones to really get stuck in is when someone does you wrong and you're waiting for the day that they go, I'm so sorry, you were right, or that they want your attention and it's no longer available. There's a feeling of liberation in those imaginative places and thoughts. Now we can tap into these imaginative places and thoughts by doing it through our imagination. But the most important part is to pull in that emotion that comes with the picture. Once we embody that emotion, we are shifting our frequency. Then we get the next lesson to come towards us. So that's another important point I needed to share with you, is that people don't choose how you feel. So when it comes to extracting energy from people, we do this all the time through conversation. You might know somebody who, when you are in a conversation with them, you just feel drained, like you just want to go to bed. You have to fight yourself from yawning in front of them because they are so exhausting to you. And then you have other people who you just can't get enough of. You can't wait for the opportunity to sit at a table and chat to them. Now, in spirituality, we have this reference, and I just want to get this out the way and then dive into how you actually get energy from people. We call people energy vampires. What we have to understand about energy vampires is we ask them to come to our space. We are calling upon that reflection because we are not giving our energy to ourselves. So when you're sitting with someone who's absolutely exhausting, it's not their fault, they're not evil and they're not bad. They are just a reflection of you not giving yourself the energy you deserve. So we really need to take care of ourselves and take time out to be authentically what we want to be in our own energy. And we have to give ourselves this energetic food so that we can carry on. Those energy vampires don't come into your space as frequently once you start choosing to take care of yourself energetically. It's not about judgment. If you hear energy vampires and you hear the story about them, don't get worked up by the idea and, oh my word, it's an energy vampire, and get judgmental and feel like you are not in control of that. Energetically, you are choosing that frequency space. So we need to shift our frequency space. We need to shift our emotions. And to do that, we can imagine the best case scenario and experience the feeling right now. There will be new lessons to come in with that. Now, when you start doing this and make the shift that I'm about to speak about and have sort of touched on, certain people may leave your life. And that may be painful, but it's that internal knowing that everything is always for your greater good, and those might just be the pain points to get you to the next frequency level. So losing someone, we say losing, is not necessarily what's happening. We don't lose them, we're just replacing that energy with something that's going to serve our purpose a lot better. So when we do anything in spirituality, we love to speak about awareness, because awareness is the state from which you can truly make choices. If you're in a less aware state and you're in thought, the choices you make are going to be based on one emotion that might not be good, and we are blinded from seeing what all could be there. So awareness is always key. If anything that you take from this video, the biggest change you can make in drawing energy in from people, places, and things is to be aware. If you go away on holiday and you start seeing the beautiful ocean, but you're thinking about whether or not you lock the door, you're going to remove yourself from being able to extract that energy. So being aware and being present is really powerful. One of the best ways to put it is be the observer. So just observe. Don't see yourself as doing anything. You're going to change the dials, energetic. Don't worry about any of that. Just allow yourself to be the observer. And what that's going to allow you to do is to feel the vibe. What I mean by feel the vibe is access that aware state, so connect with your senses and just be the observer, not an actable part. So almost like your phone, when you plug it on charge and it just needs to get to 5% before it starts glitching out, that's what you're going to do. Get into the observer state by connecting with your senses. Don't try and add to the conversation, just observe. Feel what the vibe is there. Connect with that energy. What's actually going on? What are people speaking about? What is the energy around it? You will feel whether you authentically connect with that, or if you've just gone along with the story because you might have been a part of it, or you heard a different version. If you just start observing the story, you will feel if that resonates with you or not. Next is to connect with your desired energy. This is the emotions you want to experience. It's the easiest way to connect to an energetic thing is to be in that emotional space. So if you start connecting with the energy that you want in your own space, you will start creating conversation and body language and everything that expresses that frequency level. And people will get up from the table and leave when you start to do this. Other people will come and join the conversation. If you're at like a house party, if you're around a whole bunch of people and you decide, oh, I'm going to become aware and I'm going to choose to feel my own energy, you will notice someone needs to go to the bathroom, someone needs to go and pick something up, or they need to go and get food. Whatever the reason is, you will see a shift. These are the frequency matches that are no longer serving the feeding chain that they're after. The energy vampires may be after your anxious energy. And if you've shifted out of that anxiety and you're like, I'm not really anxious right now, I'm choosing to feel good energy and feel like this was something I had such a good evening with. Like if you want to go home and say, I had the best night at this party, then shift into that energy and what it would have been like in the future and pull the feeling in. That is going to help you start conversations and become part of conversations that match that frequency. You might be the person that needs to stand up from that group that's having a conversation and move because it's so uncomfortable when you feel the vibe. So that's a clear sign to you, okay, whoa, this energy is not for me. And you will move away from it, and people who also don't match with this new good energy will move around. It's really interesting. Give it a try, and I can't wait to hear what you think about that experiment in the comment section. Come back, comment, but if you don't want to lose this page, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know where to come back to comment. Once you start creating this energy you want and everything starts to shift around you, you will start to feel yourself following where the path goes. And I mean naturally, you'll start to follow the next conversation. you will follow wherever that takes you. So let's say you decide you've been gossiping about something for half an hour with your friends, and you're like, oh my word, have you guys seen the new Jaguar they released, or the new Ferrari? And maybe it's about cars. And they go, oh yes, but you know what Ferrari did? They messed up with this. And then you go into that conversation. But be aware of when complaints are the nature of the game. No matter what you bring up, someone brings out a complaint. I'm not perfect at this. I catch myself doing this at times, and I'm working on changing this. So never think that your job is done. You're always part of this journey, learning about yourself spiritually, and there's no such thing as being perfect, because then there's no need to be here. There is always work to do. What we got to do is then commit to that feeling unconditionally. Even if the crush is sitting around you and then you do all of this and then they leave, don't go back on your energy and go back to the anxious state so that you can control the outside situation. It will only distort and morph what's meant to happen. You have to be true to you. If you are not authentic, the reflection you are going to get is going to be an inauthentic one. It's not going to match the true you that you want to be. So that's why we have to go and connect with this energy and then commit to it unconditionally. Commit to that feeling. You're going to stay in that feeling regardless of what happens. And what will typically happen is that the opportunity to stay there will come, even if it means leaving the party, going home. You will feel in yourself what you want to do once you shift into that energy. It's going to change the magnets to start attracting the scenario that's going to fit that energy. It's like a radio. When you change to a different frequency, you hear a different station. Now this obviously in this natural world takes a process. So for example, we don't just go, I'm happy now, and then we pop into a bar on the other side of the world where we're happy. This takes time for us to do it because there's also meaning in the process of getting back onto that energy. So serve that energy unconditionally. And what I mean by that, by staying committed, is go into a situation, and if people are not aligning with that and you're feeling uncomfortable still, and no matter which group you go to have a conversation, there's a weird vibe, get in your car and go home. Go somewhere else. Go be with people you love and enjoy their company. Don't stay in places that don't match up with your energy. And what will start to happen, and why this all works, is you start to set up your frequency, but you're sending out energy consciously. You're not acting on thought. You are aware of the moment. So you become the radio tower. You start sending signals out. The people who are on that radio station at that frequency start to come in. And then that energy starts to multiply when it's shared. That's how energy multiplies. We share it. That's why in the Bible there's this verse, and I don't remember it verbatim, but I will put it on the screen. And it's like, where two or more are gathered in my name, that is where I am. This is what it's talking about. When we speak about good things with people and we're sharing to one another, that starts to grow that frequency. And that's where the energy of love, peace, and joy exists, is in sharing good energy. This will help you literally start feeling energized. You will feel like a completely new person. You will draw in their energy. You won't feel deflated and exhausted from going out to see people. You won't feel anxious about being in their space because you know you're committed unconditionally to this feeling. You're devoted to being your authentic self. And then the energy is just going to feed that. So going out and being social is actually going to fill your cup, not empty it. If this has resonated, if this has made sense, and if you have specific questions, leave a comment. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. If something stood out, or if there's something you want me to go over with you specifically, I will have a personal chat with you one-on-one in the comment sections. For those of you who don't know, I reply to every single comment on every single video. So if you've enjoyed this, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one and on my subscribers list. Mad love and light.